you. Hello. Good morning. Welcome to our little corgi cottage. This is Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue here for today's Cricut Chat with Miss Rita. And you are tuned in either on Facebook or YouTube. And thank you very much. I'm just going to tell you at the very top of the show, please subscribe, like, comment. It helps me to share this group with so many wonderful people, and I love meeting new people. So say hello if you're new. Tell me that you're new. We also have this wonderful chat that goes on during the live that you can participate in. So please say good morning, hello, tell us where you're from if you're new, and you will be greeted with a lot of welcoming comments. And even if you're not new, say hello if you can. Obviously, if you're driving and stuff, you can't do that. So anyway, so this is our program. It happens 5 days a week at the minimum, at 9 o'clock Eastern time, Monday through Friday, sometimes on Saturdays, and even other times, sometimes on Sundays, but it's mostly Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock. And we, generally speaking, talk about Cricut things. And today is going to be no different. We are going to be working on the brand new 2x2 CardMat, which you can now purchase at Cricut.com and other fine retailers. So we're going to talk a little bit about the 2x2 mat, and we're going to be discussing something called Cutaway Cards, which are fairly new, not as new as the 2x2 cards, but these are cards that are different from insert cards in that they have a backing sort of built into the card, and they are not removable. And then you don't have to worry about these tabs here, you see. And it also makes it easier to do, let me see if I can show you, to do images like this that have all of these cutouts. And it's especially good for lettering. So here's one with lettering that you can, if you did this in an insert card, you'd have a big O here. You wouldn't be able to achieve this, like these lines that are here. Okay. So that's what a cutaway card does. Cutaway cards are now available in all the shapes, all the size cards, and we're going to go over the different size cards in a minute, so that you can understand. But they are available. I only have a couple of sizes to show you today, but they are going to, I think I have 3 different sizes to show you, but there are now 5 different card styles from Cricut, and let me show you what they are. And I have gone, and of course with my handwriting, so you'll have to just forgive me for that, but there are these 4 different size rectangular cards: R10, R20, R30, R40, and they vary in size. This R20 is our former A2, the one that we've learned all of our insert cards on. So in addition to having these in the insert cards, you're also going to be able to have these in the cutaway cards. Oh, and I forgot this one, which is the square one. Okay, and this is actually a cutaway card, and I'm going to show you how to put them together. So cutaway cards are fun. They're a lot of fun, and they've actually designed quite a few cards to make with the Cricut. And we're at the home page right here. I want to point out, because a lot of people, they kind of skip the home page, and they're usually like on this page. And the home page is really, first of all, it's been redesigned, but it's really got a ton of information on it. So I want to show you right off the bat where we're going to go there. So we're going to go up here to these 3 little dots, or they're really dashes, and they look like a hamburger, don't they? So that's why they call it the hamburger icon. And we're going to click on that, and you'll see there's my pretty face. And if I wanted to see my profile, there it would be, and that's where your pretty face will show up and your profile will show up. Okay. And then under this menu, the top choice is home. And so we choose that. And I just want to show you, yes, we get pop-ups. They're doing some scheduled maintenance, and it's usually pretty quick. It's during the midnight hour on May 6th. So what's that, Friday night? And so here we go. So this is the home page. Now, the one thing I want to point out here is that there's a universal search here. So if you want to do any searching, whether it's in your projects or images or the ready-made projects or even the community projects, this is where you could do it just by typing in some keywords. Okay, which is this is cool. It brings it all together. But also, as you scroll down, you'll see that there are these sort of destination pages. There's things for beginners and Mother's Day cards and graduations and mugs, and this will change often. So as we get closer to the holidays, you'll see more holiday stuff, that sort of thing. Then we have featured images. These would be new or featured images that we can use in our projects from the almost 200,000 images, or maybe it's more than 200,000 images. And then you'll see this banner that has instruction. So if you ever have a question that you can't get answered by me or a friend, that's all right here. And there's also sometimes shopping here. So here's the shopping button. And then as we scroll down, we have this one's called Hip to be Square. Then we have print and cut stickers. Then we have Mother's Day images and cards and easy press things, teacher appreciation, graduation, all this wonderful stuff right here on the homepage. Let's scroll on down. Here is wedding, and there's community. We talked a little bit about this yesterday. So I hope that you are kind of searching out the community because it's really very fun. There's so many of us in this community, and they share their projects. We share our projects with you. So there you go. But today we're going to focus again on cutaway cards. So I wanted to show you this, first of all, this hip to be square area. And you'll notice when you click on that link, it actually says cutaway at the top. And so here you go. Here's a bunch of, and some of them are not square, which is a little strange. And I think I even saw one insert card in here. So there might be something a little weird about some of these categories until they can sort of figure it out. So these are not all square images, and they're actually not all cutaway cards, but they're close. And you can choose from here, and you just simply know that it's a cutaway card because there's no insert tabs along the side. Okay, so any of these can be used. You can also, and let me go back and go to my canvas just by hitting new project. You can also find images for cutaway cards. So far, I've only been able to find images for cutaway cards, not for insert cards. I hit images, that little hot air balloon picture, and then I get this, and I'm going to choose image sets. And when I do that, you'll see that images are grouped by sets, and I can use the word cut away. It's all one word, cut away, and I will get 15 different image sets that are specifically for cutaway cards. Okay, so this works for your Joy. By the way, if I have some Joy followers, you'll be able to use your CardMat to do cutaway cards. And we actually demonstrated that before. There was a little bit of a learning curve on cutaway cards. I'm going to show you all about it. But I just kind of wanted to show you that you can get the images on the homepage, and you can also go to image sets right now and get that there. Okay. And there are a lot of these cutaway cards are square, but not all of them. And I want to just show you, let's choose the Mother's Day ones. since Mother's Day is this Sunday. I can't believe how quick it's coming up. All right. So you see here, I'm not sure if you can kind of see, but most all of these are square. So you could choose these, and let's just choose, I don't know, this daisy heart and this very special, although it says mom, and I don't really call my mom, but I do say it, I guess. All right. And so then we can come back and look at some other things. How about a shabby chic? Let's look for something else. All right, let's do sympathy because they're really beautiful. And I want to point out that not all of these you see are the same size. So let's choose this one over here. We're going to bring all three elements into our canvas so we can talk about this. One thing, the first thing that you'll notice is that these images or even the projects, they don't have like backing. That's because the cutaway cards and the insert cards are cut on a folded piece of cardstock. Okay, so you don't need a backing. If you wanted to convert these images to a card, I'm going to show you quickly how you would do this. So let's have a look at just this one. This is a square card, and it is sized, just so you know, I did some sizing. So the images are sized about the size of the insert. So this one here is 4.14 by 2.77, but I can actually go up to 4.4 on this if I'm going to do a square size. The other images are a little bit harder to figure out at first. So what you want to do is look at your box. So in this case, this is a cutaway cards for R40, which is the largest size. And you'll see here that the cards are 4.75 by 6.6. Okay. And then the inserts are 4.6. So they're slightly smaller. So I'm using the insert size to determine the size of my cutaway. So I'm going to resize this using the box, and I'm not going to exceed that 4.6 by 6.5, which may mean that I have to unlock this image and do some minor adjustments. So this image that we just did, let me just show you how this would work. So this image, let's say we're going to cut using these cutaway cards. And when we hit make it, it will come up on the regular mat. Okay. So what you need to do is go over here to the left, material load type. Okay. And choose on CardMat. Now, if on CardMat is not showing up, then the image is too large. Okay. So we got to go back and make a few adjustments here, and let's make this one 4.5 by 6.4. Let's try that, and we'll do it again. Hit make it, try it, and it's still not on the card mat. So this is what I've been doing all morning, is making little adjustments on these images to see when they will show up on the card mat. There it is. So I changed it. Let's see, what did I change it to? It's now at 4.4 by 6.3. Okay, so it's at least a quarter of an inch smaller, and I do go by the inserts, but it's a little bit smaller than the insert. So now when we hit make it, it does come in on the regular card mat, but we're going to use this drop down box and choose on the card mat. And you'll notice that it says the material size is R40, which is what we're using. And remember, you can move these images around to each of the panels depending on the stickiness of your panel. So if you've cut a lot using panel 1 and 2, use panel 3 and 4 for a while. You can't turn the mat upside down like you can with other mats. So you can, though, use different panels. And if you want to do more than one, you would just change your project copies here and hit apply. Okay. So there you go. I can move these all to 3, 4 or whatever. Now, what happens when you have images, different images? You want to make 4 cards, but you don't want to have 4 of all the same cards. Well, let's go ahead and bring back these images. So here's our you are very special to me, Mom. And then there's a nice daisy one. And let's go back and grab a couple more. So back. Look, there's a beautiful Get Well card. Let's grab those. You are in my thoughts and Get Well. So let's grab those. So now we have 4 different images. They're all the square images. Don't have to really worry about size on these because the square is pretty well sized. It's just the rectangular cards that we have to worry about. But they all come in at like 4 by 4, or maybe even a little bit bigger if you want to do that. The square cards are let's get our box of square cards. The S40 cards are 4.75 by 4.75, and the inserts are 4.6 squared. Okay. And then the envelopes are 5 inches. Yeah, 5 inches. So we might be able to scoot these out a little bit bigger, but we can just kind of leave them this way too, whatever we want. So let's hit make it. And they're going to come up individually on your card mat, not your card mat. It's going to come up individually on your regular mat. So here's what you have to do. We're going to change this first image to on the card mat. And we are going to choose S40, but we can't. For some reason, it's not letting me choose S40. Why not? I don't know. Let's try this one. On the card mat. S40. So for some reason, this one is not switching over. I'll have to tell Cricut about that. All right. So then you see we have this one. You are in my thoughts on the card mat. And then we have these other 2. So we're going to go to those other 2 and click on the triple dots and choose move object. Aren't you glad you paid attention when I told you about move object? Now, here's what you can do. So we're going to hit this mat and confirm it, and it automatically goes on it. Now, it will change the background color, and that's okay, because you're going to control what color card you're putting in there. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with this Get Well, and we're going to put it in here. And let's see if we can't do it for this daisy one. Nope, it's not letting me. I don't know why. All right, so we're going to have to hide the daisy one because I'll have to figure out what's going on. So now we have 3 cards here. And if I wanted to, I could also change the project copies. However, if I do that, it's going to give me a message that says, if you change the project copies, your movements will, like, so all of the things we moved around will, see here, it will hide or undo all of those changes that we did. So if you do want to do, say, 2 of each. Now, this is really interesting why this is showing up as an R40. I don't know why. Maybe did I fiddle with the size? Let's go back because it's going to drive me crazy. All right, I'm going to make the size smaller. Yeah. All right, let's try that. All right, so we're going to sort into mats. We're going to choose card mat. We're going to choose there. That's what it was. So then we're going to go to this mat, and we're going to move the object and move it to the yellow mat. Yay. So moving or creating these images or whatever, like if you have to change the size and stuff, it is a bit of an art form. I am working on a little like a guide so that you guys can know if you want to do your own. All right, I'm just checking on the comments so that I can check. Hello, good morning to everyone. Aledra, Leslie, Shirley, Annette, and who else do we got? Was Loretta on today? Teresa's saying she would love a mystery box with the new cards and new stuff for cards. The only thing about that, Teresa, is there's two things, I guess. One is the mystery box tend to be items that aren't selling well and that they are trying to either reduce inventory on or they have too much of. So this, since it's a brand new product, this card mat, you probably will not see a card box for a long time. The other thing is that mystery boxes, generally speaking, are put together months in advance, sometimes more than a year in advance. So things that are new this year probably wouldn't be qualified to hit a mystery box. Okay. The best bet is if you are interested in saving money with the box cards and stuff, is to keep track of the sales on Cricut, because sometimes they'll have like half price sales, and then you can take and use your access subscription discount and my discount, and you can save quite a bit of money. That's how I managed to get so much materials, because I wait for the sales, and the sales usually are at the beginning of the month and at the end of the month, and they do also have access only sales. So I hear you, I totally hear you, but that's how they sort of do it. So let's move on. So we're going to be doing 4 cards here. Now you'll notice that there are different colors. And what I'm going to be using for the different colors is my pens. These are my gel pens. They came in a big old pack, which I took them out of the pack, but this is what I think it's called, the Ultimate Pen Set. Okay, now this one's for Joy, but I just wanted to show you what it looked like. Okay, so I did take them out of the package and put them in this little basket, because what I found out when you're doing this is that it will ask for all the different pen colors when we get to putting the pen together. So I'm sorry, putting the card mat together. So you will see here when you get to this third cut screen, you're going to choose Cutaway Card and Backer. This is real important, because the Cutaway Card and Backer are very thick. They're extremely thick. They have like a little adhesive there, and if you do not use that, you will have some trouble with doing the cutaway cards. Okay, so here it is, Cutaway Card and Backer. And if you feel uncomfortable about your blade, maybe it's not a brand new blade, you can always increase the pressure to more. Okay, now what you'll see here is the first pen it's asking you to put in is pink, but then it says down here, coming up, candy corn, peacock, very berry green, candy crystal, sour apple, orange. Now, if you don't have all those colors, you can substitute whatever you want. The machine is not going to tell you, you must, it has no way of knowing what pen you've put in there. It doesn't even know that you've put a pen in there. So there are some times where you might forget to put the pen in, and it doesn't, it will make the motions, but it doesn't actually do the pen part. So so you would have to ahead of time sort of go through your pans and pull out the colors. Now these are also 0.4, so those are, or 0.3, those are the fine tip pens. Let's see if I have one here. So recently, didn't we get this one recently? This is a extra fine point teal pen in 0.3. And you see here, some of them show 0.3 and 0.4. But I'm going to actually use the gel pens because I like gel pens and these are pretty cool. So that's what I'm going to use. So I don't have to do what the computer tells me to do. All right. And we'll go ahead and we will do this. But first we need to take and get our mat set up. So I'm going to move you down here so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm actually going to cancel here because I want to go back to this part. So I've got like a daisy card here, and this is just like a floral card. This is Get Well, and this is You're Very Special to Me, Mom. And the reason why I'm putting that out is that I have the opportunity. I'm going to take off my card mat covers, and you see this is the top. You will not be able to put this in this way because of the way that it is set up. So don't try. So, and remember too that each of these panels can cut up to 20 cards. Okay, so what we're going to do, just move you just ever so slightly, is we're going to use square cards. And what do I have for square cards today? I have these Cutaway cards, and they're sort of a neutral color. So this is what you get. You get inserts, which are, I messed up this box a little bit. So you get inserts like this. Let's put those aside. You get cards like this, and you get envelopes. Okay, so when you're doing cutaway cards, there is one step you have to make before you put it onto the mat. I actually jumped the gun a little bit, and that is you've got to take the card, open it up, and you see that there is like, it looks like the back of vinyl here. So we're going to take something sharp and we're going to grab it at the edge, and now it's adhesive there. So then we can take our pretty insert and we're going to line it up. And this is how I do it, and then I just fold it down. Now the shiny side is facing forward because when it cuts out, you'll see the shiny side. Okay. And yes, you do do these ahead of time. Somebody suggested that I do it differently, like that I put the inserts in later. And I was told from Cricut that that's not how they were designed. So let's go ahead and get our 4 cards ready to put on the mat. So again, I'm just going to peel away. I'm just using, whoop, that didn't work. I'm just using my weeding tool, and I'm going to put that right here and do this for all 4. I think I should start at this top. Seems not to work at the bottom. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Why do I keep trying to start it at the bottom? Sorry, folks. Force a habit for some reasons. Force a habit. All right. So here's the thing about these cutaway cards is that this adhesive back makes it kind of difficult to create your own. So because and I still have this theory about them, but I haven't explored it. So for right now, purchasing the cutaway cards is the better idea. You could swap out the inserts, but what I found with these is that they tend to be the shiny type of insert. Okay, so let's get our mat over here again. So for instance, if you wanted to do like a shiny holographic or something like a red or pink or whatever, you could probably swap out the inserts, but I wouldn't swap out the cards until we figure out how they're made, because I know we're all frugal to some extent and we want to do this right. Okay, so I'm looking at my screen. I know you can't see it, but I want to have, let's say, the daisy one go up here. This is going to be for the daisy one. Now you see how I am pushing it so that it is all lined up here. Okay, so I'm pushing it as close to the top as I can, and then I'm going to close it, and you'll also see this line which says 40. Okay, so this says 40, and this is panel number 1. All right, and then we'll do this one, and I'm putting it so that the backer is on top. So here's the second one that's sort of the floral one, and I'm just going to shimmy it in again all the way to the top and press down. Press down really well with these, because I did have a problem with it jamming, because it is a thicker card. It is a thicker card. Okay, so here is, and if you worry because you're after a while your mat is getting less sticky, you can use tape here and it will secure it down. I just think right here on this particular panel, because it had to happen twice to me, and I think it was right there. It just has something to do with the card. Now you can also use a brayer if you have one to press it down, but I often will just use tape. Okay, so now I'm going to take you back up, because we have it all ready, and I'm going to bring you over to my machine, my lovely machine. This is the Cricut Maker 3. Although if you don't have a Maker 3, you can still do this on any Explore or the original Maker. You just can't do it on the Joy, because the Joy has a special sizing issue, and they use the card mat. Okay, so here what we're going to do is take our mat with Cricut facing up, and we're going to place it under the guides here, and we're going to hit load. And I'm going to advance my screen. Let me make sure I advance the screen. And then I'm going to choose my material again. Remember, thank you. Remember, Cutaway Cards. All right. Remember, Cutaway Cards have its own setting, and it's a little deeper. Okay. The other thing I want to point out, and I've pointed out the last couple of days, is the star wheels. So machines, all of the Cricut machines have something called star wheels, and most people aren't really aware of them. They just help to guide your mats in, because normally the mats are pulled by these two things, and these are just for like guides, but to keep them away from the materials here, and just sort of to make sure it's efficient, you're going to have to move your star wheels to the middle, so it goes on the middle rail here. Okay, and the next thing that we're going to have to do is start with our pen. So the first pen up is a pink pen, so I'm going to be looking for my pink pen. And remember, folks, to take your pens before you use it and make sure that it's working. Okay, so hold it like this, make sure it's going to work, because sometimes our pens get a little skippy, there, and we have to worry about that. So we're putting in the pink pen first, and then we're going to hit go, and it's going to just do the pink parts of the card. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get through all of these because of time, but I will try the best that I can. Sorry. Yep. Sorry. Okay. So it's going to just do the pink. So the machine does know on an image and that's why all along, how we've been sort of playing with, you don't really have to change the ink color, but this is how you could do the do the different colors. I'm going to show you that in a second. Okay. So while this is going, I'll show you a couple of the color changes, and then I'm going to go back to the screen and show you something else. Okay. So let's watch that for just a minute. And then I can take a sip of my water. Okay. Guess what? Tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo. So I am planning on doing a card, Let's Fiesta till Mañana, or Let's Fiesta till Siesta. I haven't decided yet, but I have in my head what I'm going to do. So we're not going to be using the 2x2 mat tomorrow for Cinco de Mayo. And then on Friday, we're going to visit with Abby Kirsten. She's the woman that does all the really large flowers. And she also has a lot of really great freebies. So I wanted to show you her site so you can see she does charge for the really large flowers. Although she does also have cherry blossoms that are free this year. So she takes, I guess, one flower every year and makes it free and shows everybody. We're also going to be doing cherry blossoms on illuminated branches on Monday. I've already scheduled that so that if you're waiting for that, that will be on Monday. And so we've got a full week. The other thing I want to remind you of while this is going is we have a giveaway every month. So if you're new, or even if you're not new, this is your reminder that you can enter the giveaway every single day. And it's going to be running, it started running on May 2nd, and which is Monday, and also will, let's see, go until the 29th. This month, I give away different things every month. And this month, entering your name into the Rafflecopter link is going to input your name into a big pool of people. And so at the end of the month, what I do is I pick so many winners. Let's say I have six prizes ranging in size. I am going to pick 6 names, and then I'm going to assign them each a number, and then I'm going to do a random generator. And so we'll do 1 to 6, let's say. And so the first number that pops up on the random generator will be the winner of the biggest prize. The biggest prize this month is the Cricut Mug Press Bundle. So it's the mug press with a bunch of stuff to get you started. That is a $250 value and that you could win. And the second largest thing is a BrightPad Go. That's a $100 value. So we're going to be giving one of those away. And then I have 4 smaller prizes. 2 of them are this mat with a bunch of cards. And I believe it's worth $75. And this is retail value based on Cricut's MSRP. Okay. All the prizes are given to me, or all the prizes are assigned by Cricut, and I'm the one that just administers the giveaways. There are all kinds of rules. Not all kinds of rules, but there are some rules, and one of them being this is only limited to the United States and Canada for right now. Apologize about that, but they just don't ship to those areas outside. So UK, Australia just can't ship to that. Those places. So I will once a year do some sort of non-tangible giveaway just for our international people, friends, followers. I also do a monthly, I just started doing a monthly Patreon patron giveaway. And so once a month, I'm going to pick one Patreon patron, and they will get a Cricut cutie, and also a bunch of fun stuff that I happen to find when I'm packing up the cutie. So this past month's winner was Jackie English. So I packed up the package yesterday, and it's got a True Control knife. It's got some pens. It's got a scoring stylus. It has, I found some cool ribbon and some glitter glue and a pad of paper, like a little 6x6 pad of paper. So that's what you can look forward to by being a patron on Patreon. Okay, so this is stopped, and now it's telling me I need to put in the green one. So let's take this out, and I'm going to get a green one. So this is a lemongrass. Again, I'm going to test my pan. There we go. And we're going to put that in. And just as a word about Patreon. So Patreon is a way for you as an individual person to become a patron of artists. And it is not limited. You can become a patron to as many people as you want. There's several Cricut people that do Patreon, one of them being Melody Lane channel, and she offers, or their channel offers, at a $2 value, they give you some files. My feeling about that is that's great, it works for her, but I don't like to charge for files. And so for right now, I think we're just going to keep it so the files will be continue to be free because I'm using Cricut images. But I will probably be expanding the Patreon benefits really soon. So just so that you know, and we just added this benefit here, and I'm trying to grow my Patreon list because it's a way for you guys to support me. And what it really does directly is it gives me enough money to buy supplies for these daily shows. So if you find value in watching the shows however many times you watch, then I would ask you to consider becoming a patron on Patreon. The lowest entry point right now is $5 a month. I think I'm going to change it to $3 a month or $2 a month, so that if you just want to give $2 a month, and that's what, $24 a year. Also, some folks have mentioned that they want to give on a yearly basis, and I just went through my Patreon. I'm learning about this process, and I just went through, and I believe I have activated the yearly feature. So if you are somebody that said, I'd love to do it, but I really rather it not come out every month, you can now, I think, switch to yearly, and you'll actually get a 10% discount. So here's an example. Let's say you pledge $5 a month for 12 months, that's $60. But if you do yearly, you'll get 10% discount, which is $6. So you'll save $6, and you'll be paying $54. So that's just the benefit, what they told me about Patreon. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about that. Let's go. While this is still cutting, I am going over back to my screen. Now, did you know, and here is an example. All right. So did you know that you could be working, or you could have your machine working on this project, which is what it's doing. It's in the process of drawing, but you could be working on something else. So what you do if you want to open another window, now this might be slightly different if you have a Windows based or like a non-Mac based, but this is how I do it, right? I come up here to this little green button, I guess, and I'm going to click on it. And what it does is it shrinks my window. Now, if when you click on this, it doesn't shrink it to the correct size, you can also use your mouse and sort of make this. Let me just put in the next color. Peacock. Let's find the peacock here. Oh, well, our peacock's not working too well. Let me find a different one. Hold on. Okay. All right. So you can actually use your little mouse and move it to make it as big or as small as you want to. Once you do that, then you can come up here to File. Sorry. I want the Cricut Design Space to show up. Yep, there. File, New Window. And that allows you to have something going on your machine and still be playing around on Design Space. Isn't that lovely? A lot of people don't know that. And it's just a whole lot of fun. And it saves you from sort of like just staring at the machine while it's cutting or doing something very long and arduous. So just so that you know, this is what I do. And I can sometimes, you can have multiples open, but I find it a little confusing when you have more than two. Okay, so it will still continue to work, and see how this has changed to Candy Crystal, which I'm assuming is some kind of a pink. So let me find a pink. We just used that Candy Crystal, right? Let's use this one. Try this one. All right. So it's going to continue to work. Your machine will work just fine. Okay. And then you can come over here and you can even turn this window, you know, sort of make it bigger, so you can have a look. And then I can go here and just sort of talk about different cards. So we had talked a little bit about how to turn a square card. I want to show you what that is about. So here are some square images, and I want to say change this to a regular card. So let's choose this one. I'm going to add it to my canvas. And let's say we don't have the cutaway cards, but we want to make a card. So we're going to then grab a shape, which in this case, we're going to grab a square. Okay. Yeah, I like just two, Annette, right? So we're going to take this square, we're going to unlock it, and we are going to, and this is where knowing the sizes is real helpful. So let's say we want to make a square card. So I need for this to be doubled. 4.75 twice is 9.5. So I need my square to be 9.5 inches wide. Let me do that. 9.5. And then the height would be the same height already. So 4.75. Okay. So now I've got a square card, but let's do, let me just check over here. Now I have to put the sour apple one in. I'm multitasking. Let's hope I don't mess up. All right. So now I'm going to, there's my square card. So I have my image, and what I'm going to do is add let's change the color to white, and I'm going to add a score line. So I'm going to go to not images, I'm going to go to shapes, and at the very top of shapes, there is a score line. Okay, so here's my score line, and I'm going to make it as long, make it like you can change it to 4.75. And then I'm going to take these two, and I'm going to choose Align Center, so I know exactly where this is going to go. And then I'm going to select them both, and I'm coming down here. I know you can't hardly see it, but I'm going to attach it. Okay. And now I'm going back to my other machine, and putting in a very berry color and hitting go on that and coming back to my card. And I'm going to take this image. I'm going to arrange it to the front, and then I'm going to unlock it, and I'm going to reassign it, like reshape it to the image that we want. All right, so it is in the square image. It looks a little distorted, but that's fine. So then what we're going to do is take and attach this to the card. Now you'll notice that some of these have changed, but over here you'll see that it's pen and cut. So if you wanted to change this pen to a different color pen, or even foil, if you wanted to do foil, you could do that. And under here, under pen, right? Once you have pen chosen, you go to this little square that has a color, and you can choose your color from here. So this is what I was talking about at the top of the show. If you wanted to choose gel colors, which are 1.0 millimeters, you can go ahead and make those changes here and see how it is going to work out. And then also here, you'll see this is a cut. It's not filled in, but that's okay. You don't have to worry about it. Now, if you wanted to change this basic cut to a pen, you can do that under operation again, and you could either change it to foil or pen, or you can use some of the special tools for the Maker, such as engrave and deboss. Okay, although engrave wouldn't look very good. So here I'll just change it to a foil, a medium foil. So now I have a square card that has writing and foiling on it. And guess what? I could also add images from this. And then I could also do a sentiment. So this is kind of a fun way to add sentiments. Now this is not using the 2x2 CardMat, but just in case you can't get your hands on it, and you wanted to play around, here you go. And we can save it, and we can call this, let's see, square heart card. Like that. And save it and choose my, let's see, card collection, which is getting rather big. I might have to break that up. Come on. And save it. And then when I'm done, I can just go ahead and leave this, or I can start a new project, you see? And this is really fun. I find you have to pay attention, but I find that this is a kind of sort of a fun way. Now, let's say you want to line up projects for the next time. So once this project over here gets done, you want to line up for another. So let's choose this watering can card, and we're going to hit make it. And we can have it sort of in the wings, okay? And then when we go to and we can make the changes that we want to do here. It's going to be an S40 card, and maybe I'm going to change the project types to 4. And I can have this sort of waiting in the wings for the next time. So if you are one of the super efficient people, you could have this all set up, and it's just a matter of somebody pressing go. You know what I mean? Now, this, by the way, is trying to connect to my Maker, which is already in use. So I can't get to the go portion just yet. But again, I have these two windows. I can do file, new window, and I have a third window. Isn't this fun? And you can get a little bit, this is a rabbit hole. You may or may not want to go down, but this is definitely a rabbit hole that I find these fun things to do. So I can go in here and look at images. Oh, I love this new image, and I'm going to save the image. Or I want to just check out the project. So I want to go to Mother's Day, and I can have these things all ready. Yes. Okay. Yes, Barbara. So let me talk a little bit about that. So Barbara's asking about the Facebook group Cricut Chat with Miss Rita. So we have a small Facebook group, and it was set for public. And what that meant, let me just close this and see what color I got to put in now. Candy corn. Okay. So I got to find an orange color. And so our Facebook group, not everybody's on Facebook. So, you know, if you want to join, you're welcome to join. It is free. You know, you just have to be on Facebook. And it's a great place to share things that you've made that were inspired by something you've learned from me, or other, you know, ways to get in touch with people that you can't do on YouTube. So anyway, so this group, unbeknownst to me, was set as public. And what that means is that you could join the group and interact in the group. So if you were able to interact by like commenting and whatever, that means that you joined the group. But publicly, everybody could see what was going on in the group. So all I did was make a change from public to private. And that way, although you'd still be able to find the group if you were an outsider, you would have to join in order to see anything. Okay. So don't get nervous when when you see my comment about that. So if you are on Facebook groups, you can certainly join that group. I have about 10 different groups, and they're all different topics. I have a kitchen group, like a recipe group. I have some really large older groups called Cricut Newbies and Pros, and there's one for Cricut Joy. There's one for the older machines. There's one for the newer machines. And then I also have some local groups that I manage, a butterfly group, a local Peabody group, and then a green living group. So I have a lot of groups, and I pop into all these groups, and I will often share things such as if there is if it's worthwhile to share. So for instance, if there's a mystery box and I want to tell everybody about the mystery box, I will post in all the groups, hey, there's a brand new mystery box. I won't post that in my local group because they don't care, but if there was something, local that was happening, I'm not going to post it necessarily in my other group. So that's just how I manage my system. Corgi groups, I belong to a bunch of corgi groups, and I also manage a corgi group called New England Corgis. So there you go. All right, what's up next? Orange. I just had orange in. Let's choose a different orange. I'll choose this weird looking orange. If it's going to work. It's not working. Yikes. So yeah, I've been on Facebook for a really long time. I think I started in 2009. And I was thinking about that yesterday when I was in the pool, was, I do have a lot of, and I just kind of take for granted that everybody knows the same thing that I do, which I shouldn't take that for granted. But so there is that. So yeah, I'm just deep in social media. And then of course I do have Instagram. I do have Twitter and Reddit and TikTok and Quora. So if you're looking for me in any of the places, I am there, usually under Miss Rita to the Rescue, but also under my personal name sometimes, which is Rita Marie Cavicchio. So I don't want to keep taking up your time. And also I have to get my tooth extracted at 11 o'clock. So I'm not going to keep you much longer. This is taking an awful long time. And it might be done. I don't know. So I'll keep you on just for another minute or so. And let's see if we have any questions. Oh, it was, huh? So they redid, um, you did the Empress. That's how I did the Empress. I need, yes. We're going to talk about the Empress soon, soon, soon. Did you guys see our friend uh, Anna Griffith? Now it's done, by the way, all of the pens, and it is doing the cutting. So let's have a look here. It's going to go fairly quickly. So there it is doing the cutting. Um, and Anna was on HSN, which is the Home Shopping Network, and Anna Griffin, and she was demoing the Auto Press, which is a beautiful machine. It's not available in or on Cricut until like the 15th of May, which is next Sunday. So if you want to buy it, and you're in Canada, because HSN is not in Canada. If you want to buy it and you're in Canada, you have to wait until next week to buy it. It is definitely a considered purchase. What I mean by that is the price is $1,000, but it is an amazing machine. So if you're somebody that is not just a hobbyist and you like to do, or you have to do something for business or volunteer, like Girl Scouts or senior center, or your baseball team, this might be a great way for you to do all those, take it in-house basically, and do that. I personally don't have a business like that, but when I did, I would have considered purchasing it, because when I had my soap business, everybody wants merch, right? So that's the big thing right now is merch. And so t-shirts, and other things, and t-shirts, hats and things like that could be done on the auto press. And so then, you might consider it. If you're just a little hobbyist, the Easy Press, even the Easy Press Mini, they're great, and they do that, one-off kind of thing. But the auto press is a powerhouse. So that is going to be coming out soon. And the electrical consideration. Yeah. So although I did find the auto press is just a regular plug, same as the Easy Press. What's great about it is it has a huge, a huge mat or a huge plate that does, so you can do things like tote bags. So if you're into tote bags, or you want to sell these things, then there you go. You have that opportunity. So I don't know if it's going to finish, but I think you can kind of see. So there, look at this cute one. This is that Get Well one. It did the pink, it did the green. There's our little berry one that maybe the color isn't the best, but I love the berries. And up here is the daisy one. So it's kind of just working on each of those. So it's on card number 2, and then it will do 3 and 4, I guess. It seems to me like it works on the top 2 first, always. But again, I haven't done it a gazillion times either. So there you go. Okay, Dawn, have an enjoyable day, and I will stay on for a little while longer. But I will, if this doesn't end soon, I will have to kick myself off. So you're welcome to stay while this does this. If you have an intense desire to use the 2x2 CardMat, I will tell you that it's a lot more work saved than you think. So I've only been using it now for like 4 days, and it's the kind of thing you put all 4 cards in, you don't realize that it's going to take a lot of time, but it saves you a lot of putting in a mat, taking out a mat, choosing the pen, all of that. And it saves you the time of having to choose your paper, because the cards are all set up in a box And it does come, the boxes do come in larger sizes. So here's one that I really like. It's an R40. So that's close. I like my cards big. So this is as close to a 5 by 7 inch card as they can go. And so it's called the R40. And I'll show them to you again, just so you just, so the R10 is very small. It would make a good little RSVP, or maybe a thank you card or a note card. So that's the R10. This is the card size we all know and love. That's the A2 size. It's 4¼ by 5½. And then you've got these slightly bigger. So this is slightly bigger than the A2, but not quite as large. This is the R30, 4½ by 6¼ and then the very large one is R40. That is the one I just showed you the box for. It's close to 5 by 7, 4 3/4 by 6.6 to be exact. And then you will have the S40, which is a square. So I'm learning all this different these different technical terms, and I want for you to learn about them too. So this is what used to be called an A2. It's now an R20, and it can be either this way or this way, landscape or portrait. Here are some that I did yesterday. Look at this. Is this not cute? Now I messed up a little bit right here. So when this is done, when this whole thing is done, I'm going to take my weeding tool. And let me see if I can find it. So I'm going to take my weeding tool, and this is with the Cutaway cards, and I am going to carefully get under the top layer here and pull it off. Now it does take a little finesse, because look here, I kind of pierced that background, and here I dug too deeply, and here, look at this piñata. I kind of dug it a little too deeply and exposed the back so you can see it. So it does take a little finesse, a little bit of practice, but it's really a fun technique, and it allows you to have things like these eyes, or where's another as I said before, with these letters, you're allowed to have this. And so you don't have these big, like, gaping holes where an O is supposed to go. It has the actual negative space that's there. That's what I do like about the Cutaway cards. This one here is another one I did. I found in the projects. I found these all in projects. So, so you can, again, do projects. You can do images with the Cutaway cards. You just need to know what you're doing when you go to size them. So if you want to not have to deal with size issues, then go to projects and do them from project. But I want to just show you all of that needs. I think so. Anybody that's been making cards for a long time, myself included, has some ideas about these Cutaway cards. There are these adhesive back, double-sided adhesive back sheets, and sometimes they come in a roll even. And I was thinking, I wonder if I could cut my own card and use the double-sided adhesive sheets to put in the backers. I'm going to try it, but I just haven't had time to try it yet, and I will report back to you on because sometimes you do want to make something that's a special color, and you want to use the Cutaway card. So for instance, let's say you want to make a Halloween card and you want black with, I don't know, gold on the inside, or Christmas green with red on the inside, that sort of thing. And I'm sure there must be a way to get around it, just simply to keep it easy for people who want to make their own. So I'm going to get my finished chart ready for you guys. I started making it, and I will post it as soon as I can. Okay. So it's almost done. I think it's almost done. We still have some people that are hanging on. And so I will hang on until, oh, I don't know, at least 5 more minutes. Of course, my screen says it's 100% done, but it's still cutting. And I don't know if it did seem to, yeah, it's cutting 3 and 4. So it should almost be done. So hurry, 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 machine. You ever get like that? I do. um, Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I need to tell you about. There have been, we had a conversation on Saturday night about, on our Zoom call, about the print and cut window. So I want to show you all what that was about, and I will maybe schedule a class about that for, I hope I can do it next week, because they haven't technically increase the print and cut window, but we found out on Saturday night that you can really maximize the size of your sticker sheets. And I'm going to show you how you can do that. It used to be, I used to do this special technique where I would add a shape and then I would include everything, and it would show up in your print and cut window. But now you can actually sort of force the window to be larger. And so I love this technique. So I want to show you guys how to do that. So hopefully that will be next week. I just run out of different topics. I get so engrossed in all these topics. Yeah, Tammy is asking about cutaway cards with the joy. And I too experienced that, where you have to sort of manipulate the card, or the image on the card mat in order for it to do sort of a centered card. And in fact, this one here was cut on the joy, and you see I didn't center it all that well. And there's a lot of space up here and on the side. So I need to go back and show you guys how to do a little bit better. Hey, it's done. Woohoo! All right. So here we go. Let's just have a look at our finished. Let's move you over here. So now I have 4 lovely cards that are completed, and we're just going to roll them. And this one you don't have to worry about taking and leaving stuff onto the base. And so you take all 4 of those off. We'll just take this one and do this one. So here's the one that says, "You're very special to me, Mom." And we're going to take our weighting tool, and we're going to, and again, this does take a little finesse. You might not be perfect at it at first, but we're going to take it and sort of peel off. I probably should put this closer to my face so I can see what I'm doing. But you're going to peel these off. And these pieces, by the way, are very sticky. So they take the sticky with them. And so it's not sticky here. Does that make sense? And there we go. And then also with the letter, so I'll show you the letter. So here is an R. And before, when we did the insert cards, you didn't have these middle pieces, what I call a negative space. So now with the cutaway cards, if you play your cards right, you can lift this up and it keeps the, but see, I didn't do it right. But it keeps the negative space in there. I didn't do it right. And right? But you'll do it better than me, you guys. You'll do it better. But it takes a little bit of patience and everything. So here is, let's do this R. There we go. So you can kind of see. So I'm just going to go through on all 4 of my cards and pick off these things. And I will have a completed 4 completed cards. Let's do this one because it's super easy. Oof. CardMat super sticky. Don't have the problem that we had at first with the smaller CardMat. And let's go ahead and take up this. For some reason, this reminds me of like peeling wallpaper, which is not my favorite thing in the world. But okay, here we go. You know how like when I bought my house in '99, there was all the '70s wallpaper in there. So I would, when I first moved in, I didn't have a lot of hobbies then. And so on a Saturday morning, I'd be sitting there having my coffee. Okay, I messed this up. And I would just start like peeling the paper. And I'm like, huh, I guess we're going to be fixing up this wall now because I just have a tendency to pick at things. And that's what I did. So again, it might be useful if you could sort of bend it a little bit, but this I'm having trouble with, guys. I gotta tell you. How did I do that? Not this. There we go. See, you have to be very careful here. And that's why I think having a shiny and not a glitter thing probably is the reason why they went to the shiny. All right. But I actually peeled this off. So here is a completed card. And look, the pen didn't work here. Oh well. But this one looks pretty good. So I'm going to continue to peel these after I get back from having my tooth. And yes, okay. And then Tammy's saying you could take this negative piece like the heart and stick it somewhere else. You certainly could. I'm going to put it right there on my screen. Okay, so I've taken up a lot of your time today. Thank you for your patience in staying with me. I know you have days planned and you want to continue to work and everything, so I appreciate your time. And we will see you again tomorrow. And tomorrow is Fiesta, Cinco de Mayo. And so we're going to do, I think I'm going to try to do a banner. And I have in my head that I want to do a taco banner. So I think I might do that. And I'll also show you some really awesome new images that are available that celebrate our Mexican friends and their heritage. So we will do that tomorrow. I hope you can tune in, and maybe you might want to make a taco banner. I was in this restaurant that recently expanded downtown Peabody. It's called the Next Mex Thing. And I was thinking, oh, this place would look awesome with a taco banner because they started off as like a taco maker. And it's just what a great little atmosphere. Anyway, all right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow, and we will be doing our Cinco de Mayo celebration. And I hope you can join me. All right. Take care.